Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to the session. For everyone that is joining who is new, take your time to roll out your mat while I go through the intro. We give it a few minutes so that we can all catch up with each other and get all set up and settled in. And while I do that, we'll go through the intro for what is happening for today's session. But thank you for joining me so far. So today we are going to be focusing on Pilates for posture. So as many of you already know, for July, we're focusing on bringing in a little bit more props like weights and balls and bands. And I thought for today, let's focus on that posture, which is great for every day, but also super, super important for when you start to add in things like weights and props and bands. You really want to make sure that you have good posture when you do that. And so taking the weights away, focusing on that posture is going to be a great place for you to start. So that's what we're going to do today. No equipment needed, just your mat. And we'll take a moment and then get started in our 4-point kneeling. 30 minutes and we'll get in and out. All right, let's get started. We'll come into that 4-point kneeling position. Hands under shoulders, knees underneath those hips. Let's take a deep breath in, gaze forward. Pull your chest forward through your arms. And exhale, rounding from the lower back to the head. Deep breath in, opening up through the chest. And exhale to curl, just starting here with some gentle breath. Keeping the hips slightly behind your knees. Weight is in the shins. 2 more. Pressing the ground away. Feel that expansion. And exhale to round. Keep your spine rounded, tucking into the 10 toes, into that upstretched downward dog, lifting the hips up, finding alignment, feet in line with hips, pressing into the outside of your hands. And then you can begin to bicycle your legs, just gently stretching those hamstrings dynamically. Finding that reach of the tailbone to the ceiling. 1 more on each side. We'll find a neutral. Lower the knees and open the chest just for a moment. Straight back. And then bring your feet together, knees wide. And just press the hips slightly behind your knees. We're going to stretch through the one side. Take your hand to the side. You're going to lift it up to T. And then thread it through. We open to T. And lower it down. We lift, reach, stretch under. Reach to the wall next to you and lower down. So you want to feel that alignment of bringing your hand up to the side of your shoulder. Keeping that long spine and chest in center. We'll take 2 more. Lift and reach. Thread under, reach your tailbone back. And 1 more. And then we'll take it over to the other side. And lift. And lower. Bring it in and over to the other side. I'm going to spin myself around because my wall is too close. Hand goes out to the side. You're lifting up and threading under. Reaching and lower back down. So it's slightly slower than our regular thread the needles, and it's because we're focusing on finding that alignment of our arm and shoulder, which is fantastic when you add on that weight. We'll go 3 more. Using the hand on the floor for support. Elbow can bend. Pulling and pushing 1 more. Around and back in. We bring that hand underneath the shoulder. Press your hips back to child's pose. Big stretch. Releasing through the lower back. We're going to curl the spine up. We're going to take our hips forward and down, lifting through the chest. And then we press back. You want to make sure that as you take your hips down, core is slightly engaged. You're generously pushing into your hands so that you don't collapse into the lower back. Feel that stretch up and out of your head. Option to lift the toes off the ground. That will deepen the stretch. So making sure to only do that if there's no lower back discomfort. Deep breath in as we come forward. Let's go 2 more. Curl the spine, then lift the chest. And back. Working through that spine in all directions. 1 more. And press back. We're going to come to prone position. So just slide your knees into center. Pull your chest forward and down. And then press yourself back if you need. And pressing down into your hands. Taking a deep breath in. Let's just take 1 big lift here. Stretching open through the chest. Feel that expansive breath. And gently lower down. Good. You're going to take our hands just outside of your mat at 90. So elbows are in line with your shoulders. Your head is just above the mat. You're going to lift up through the arms and then press those hands down again. We lift and lower. Think of reaching your elbows out to the side. Exhale to lift and lower. Start to notice how that upper back is working around the shoulders. 2 and 1. We're going to add on. We're going to lift the chest, take a deep breath in, then lift the arms, exhale. Lower the arms, lower the chest. We take a deep breath in, lift the chest, exhale, lift the arms, lower the arms, lower the chest. As you lift up, you only want to lift up enough just to get a little space between you and the floor. Begin to feel the activation of your mid and upper back. Let's go 2 more. Such important muscles for our posture and opening up through the front of the body. 1 more. And lift, lower, lower the chest. Bring your hands in, stack them one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your hands. We'll take exhale breath, lifting through the legs. And lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Head is resting on your hands. You're pressing down into your elbows, releasing the shoulders. Stretching those legs back. Try to lift the knees off the ground, squeeze the glutes, and lower with control. So we're working all of the muscles in the back of our body for our posture. 2 more. And down. 1 more. Big squeeze. Find that squeeze at the glute. Lower down. Lifting up to that sweet spot. Core is engaged. We begin to kick the legs. Deep breath in. And exhale. Inhaling for a count of 5 and then exhaling for 5. Feel that the activation is coming from the glutes. Knees are lifted off the mat. Find that lift from the lower abdominals as well. If you want to increase that challenge, you're going to float your hands and head away from the ground. Entire back body is active. Hips are stable. 3 more rounds of breath. Building up a little bit of energy now. Lengthen through that head. 1 more round. And pause, lower down with control. And then lift yourself up into a Sphinx pose, which is up onto the forearms. Palms are pressing down to the ground. Elbows under shoulders. And the chest is open. We're going to take a single arm side reach. So you're pressing down into your right arm. Your left arm is going to come away from the ground. We go out to the side. We come back in, press down, and over to the other side. And in. As your arm reaches to the side, you want to think of that elbow. So be mindful not to pull the elbow in. We're thinking out, keeping it in line with the side of your shoulder. When you come down, you have that moment to pause, reset, and switch. Chest is pulling forward, elbows pulling in, and the crown is reaching up. Awesome, let's go one more. And in, hold it there. A little bit of core activation here. You're going to nod your chin to your chest. Then lift and curl your spine towards the sky. You're going to find that you're floating on your knees. Then press into your toes to lift up into plank. Lower your knees, then your hips, and open your chest. We'll go through that slowly again. Curl your chin to your chest. Lift your chest from the mat. Press into your toes to lift your knees, low plank. Lower your knees, hips, and ripple forward to the start. Exhale, we curl and lift. Generously pushing down into the forearms. And then inhale as you come forward. If you pause at the point of the knees, that's also good. You're just starting to find that core activation, challenging the shoulders. Let's go two more. Feel that core engage, wrapping in around your waist. Then the knees come up. One more, and then we'll take it to our rest position. Lower the knees, open the chest, untuck your toes, and press yourself back to your rest position. Well done. We'll take a few breaths here just to reset, finding ease in the shoulders and the hips. We'll slow it down here for a moment again. Walk your hands into your knees, gently rolling up. And we're going to come to seated. So I'm going to come to sit at the front of my mat. Feet are in front of you. Take a moment there to find your alignment, sitting up tall. We're going to do rolling back, reaching the arms forward. Take an exhale breath, gently roll it all the way down with control. Arms reach up, deep breath in. Half lift, full curl up. Option to place a cushion or a towel in your lower back if you need that support here. And a moment here to just regather the breath. Exhaling on that way up and down. Keeping your eyes on the horizon, lower with control. Scoop the lower abdominals in a little more. We'll go two more. Then we have another new one. One more all the way down and back up. Pressing into your feet a little more. Scoop your tailbone under a little more. Scoop your lower abdominals a little more. Good. Let's bring it up. Half curl yourself back and bring yourself down into your forearms. Your elbows underneath your shoulders. Pressing into your forearms, you want to lift that chest up and press your hips away. So feel like you're stretching open through your collarbones and reaching your hip bones away from you. Then you're going to take your one hand, you're going to lift it away from the mat and twist across. Bring it back in, down to the mat. We twist and lift, reach, push your chest forward, pressing down into the bottom forearm. And we'll just stick to the one side. Feel that you're moving through that bottom shoulder. So you want to feel it stretch and reach. Option to add on challenge. You can lift your leg away from the ground as you twist. Using those obliques, we'll go 3. Little bit of a new movement and choreography here, so take your time. And one more. We'll reset, opening up through the chest again, pressing down into the the opposite forearm, and then reach and twist. And around. We're going to increase the tempo here a little bit, but you take it at your own pace. You want to feel that long spine, open chest. So nice straight back. Press your tailbone into the ground. Option to add on. Leg pulls in as you reach and twist. Lower to the start. Lift and twist. Lower. Feel like you're stretching to that wall next to you. 2 more. And 1. Bring it in, reset, slide your hands forward as you curl your spine down. Well done. Walk your feet in, pressing generously into your hands, curl your hips to your chest, and lift the hips up to bridge. Deep breath in. And exhale, gently rolling down. A little bit more familiar here. Generously pushing into hands and heels for support. Exhaling as we roll up and down, deep breath in at the top and bottom. We'll go 2 more. See if you can get to the tips of the shoulder blades. Pause for your inhale. Stretch open through your chest. 1, we're going to go up and hold. Pause there. Pull your heels towards your shoulders. Feel that hamstring and glute activation. And then you're going to reach your hands out next to the side of your body. Reach towards your knees. Pull your heels to your shoulders. Feel that activation. Deep breath in and out here. Hold it. Find your stability. Option to take your arms over the head. And bring them down next to the side of your hips again. A little bit more of a challenge. Keep those shoulders on the mat. And see if you can feel how your entire back body is working here. The front is stretching. The back is active. Pull your heels in a little bit more. 2. And 1. Lower the hands down. Take an exhale breath to roll down through the spine. We're going to take it up again for our single leg lifts. Exhale up. One hand comes up to the ceiling. Opposite leg to tabletop. See if you can find your stability. Lower the foot. Exhale to lift. So now we're adding on that unilateral work. If you need your hand on the mat for support, you can take that. Reaching up through that top arm. Pressing into your bottom foot. 2 more. 1. We'll lower the foot, lower the hand, roll it back down. Awesome. Let's take it up again. Exhale, rolling it up. Find that center. Reach your opposite hand to the ceiling. Opposite leg. Find your center. Lower and lift the leg. Pressing into that bottom foot. Tuning into your hips. Feel that they're not moving. And you're working with each one to keep them stable. Pressing into your shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1 more. Lower the foot, lower the hand, and roll it back down. Slide your feet away from you just a little bit. Reach both of your arms up to the ceiling. We'll take a curl up again. Coming forward. This time, as we roll down, we're going to take a single leg lift. We roll it back. At the bottom, lift one leg to tabletop. Lower it down. See if you can keep your alignment. Curl up. Exhale, breath, we curl it down. Inhale, lift that leg. Exhale, lower that leg. Roll it up. So we're alternating our leg lifts. Pulling that knee towards you and then pushing it away. And your goal is to try to keep that alignment of your feet with your hips. Let's go one more time on each side. Reach it forward. So we got 2 more roll downs, 1 more leg lift on each side. The last one, we're going to keep that leg in tabletop. We're going to grab onto the knee. So bring that leg to tabletop and then grabbing onto your knee, lifting your chest. Opposite leg lifts to the center of the wall. Switch those legs, single leg stretch. Exhale, switch, quick inhale. Lifting from that mid back. Keep your eyes on that wall in front of you, between your knees. 3 more rounds. Pull your knee in. 2. 1 more round on each side, then double leg stretch. Bring both knees to chest, hands to shin, stretch arms over, legs away. Pull it in. Deep breath in to stretch. Exhale to pull it in. Lift from your mid back. Elbows to temples, not too far back. Deep breath in and pull. 1 more deep breath in and pull. Lower your chest. Well done. Tabletop your legs, arms to T. Supine twist. Deep breath in, let's twist. Exhale, center, adding on today. Take your opposite leg, toe tap to the mat. Into tabletop, then twist to that side. Exhale, center. Inhale, toe tap. Exhale, lift. Twist. 1 breath per movement. So for anyone that's been regular, we usually just do the twists. So this adds on a little bit more of the challenge. If you'd like to increase the challenge, you can take both legs down towards the mat, keeping your rib cage down to the ground. Rotate. Center. Lower. Lift. Let's go 1 more to each side. Deep breath in. Center. Lower. Lift. Last 1. Deep breath in. Out. In. And lift. Knees to chest. Grab your shins. Take a low back stretch. Then lift your legs away from your chest a little bit. Lift your chest towards your legs. Hold. Rolling like a ball. Exhale. Roll it up. Inhale back. Exhale up. Chin is tucked in. And we just roll to the tips of the shoulder blades and back up. Pulling your lower abdominals towards your lower back. And feel your biceps pulling your legs towards your chest. 3 more. And 1. All the way to the top. Find your hover. Lower your feet. Reset. Press your hips back. Let's take a spine stretch. before our side work. Legs are straight. Soften the knees if you need. Stretch your arms forward. Chin to chest. Curl it forward. Feel the length out of your head and back body. Roll it up. Exhale as you roll forward. Inhale as you roll up. Visualizing rolling away from a wall. Hips pull back, head reaches forward. And then as you inhale, roll back up on the wall. 2. And 1. Nicely done. Release the arms. We're going to come over into our side lying work. So we're going to be up on the forearm. Hand is slightly out at a 45, elbow under shoulder. And we're going to take our top leg and straighten it. Pressing down into this bottom knee. We're going to begin to lift through that top shoulder. Lift that top rib cage. Come out of your bottom shoulder. Then we're going to press into those legs to lift the hips. Feel your bottom rib and hip come closer together. Then lower with control. Exhale, we're going up. Inhale to lower. Good. So you're finding that bottom oblique activation. Length out of your head, long spine. Let's go 2 more. And 1. Option to stay at the top or lower your hips down when you need leg lift. And down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. You can look down at your forearm to release the neck if you need that. Feel that stability from your bottom oblique. 2. And 1. Can you hold it? Lower the hips if you need. Flex your foot forward and back. Forward, point, back. Stable torso, moving at the hip. Let's go 2. 1. Bring it to center, lower it down, release the hip, and pull that bottom leg forward, side stretch. Little twist. Find a stretch on the opposite side. Open. Leg is coming around. Little twist. Let's take it to the other side. Right. So now the setup is a little quicker. Straight leg, bent leg, 45 arm. Elbow in line with hip and under shoulder. Lifting through the side of the waist. Let's take it. Exhale up. Inhale, lower down. When you lower down, you're trying to still keep that connection of your rib and your hip coming towards each other. Finding that activation. Pressing generously into that bottom forearm really supports you. 3. And keeping that shoulder behind your elbow. 1. We're going to take it up and hold. Find that lift and alignment. Leg is coming up, lowering down. Exhale up, inhale down. Option to lower the hips if you need. Pressing into your bottom knee and shin. Last 3. 2. And 1. Hold it. Flex your foot. Forward. Back. Finding that core. Pull your rib cage in and down. 3. 2. And 1. Bring it in. Slide that bottom leg forward. And stretch. Well done. We're into that cool down. Little twist. Open it up. Cross the leg around. Glute stretch. Grabbing onto your knee. Ooh, hip is tight. Sitting up tall. Deep breath in and out. Unravel. Prone position for us. 1. So coming all the way down, hands under shoulders, legs in line with hips. Deep breath in, lifting through the chest. Lift the elbows if that feels good. Exhale all the way down. Starting to slow down the movement. Increase the length of that exhale. Maybe taking a pause at the top. If you want an extra bit of stretch there. Pressing into the outside part of your hand to stretch the collarbones. 2 more. And 1. We'll tuck the toes under. Press the hips back. Drop your hips to your heels, stretching out of the arms and the shoulders. Gazing through your knees. Walk your hands over to the one side, dropping your hips back if that feels good. And breathing into that side of your rib cage. Walk it over to the other side. Breathing into that rib cage, feel it expanding. Cool down breaths are so important. Come back to center. Into 4 point. 2 cat-cows opening through the chest. Exhale to round. Let's go 2 more. Throw in an extra one there, checking in with your body from the start of class. And 1 more deep breath in, open stretch. Exhale to round. Walk your hands towards your knees into high kneeling, reaching up through the arms. Reach the arms down. And 1 more deep breath in. And release. Awesome work. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Monday live class. It's so wonderful to have you all here. And thank you for everybody's support. If you are brand new, we do a Q&A at the end of the session. So you're welcome to stay and ask any questions. And I will answer them here for you to give you a little bit of feedback on how you can make certain adjustments to either modify or progress. That's what I love to teach here, is making movement accessible for everybody, so you can stay and ask your questions or maybe just say hi and where you're joining from. But for everyone else, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have an amazing week, and I will see you next week again. All right, let's have a quick check and see how everyone is feeling. My microphone did a little side move earlier, so hopefully the sound was okay. Let's see how we're feeling. Can ask your questions. Hello, Paul. It's so lovely to have you back. I'm so glad to see you again. I'm curious, what time is it there by you? So for this week coming, we're going to have some sessions with some weights, so that you know that you're prepared, like a 1.5 to 2 kg. And that's why today I really wanted to focus on that posture, because as soon as you add in that weight, you really want to make sure that you have the right amount of support for those weights and that you don't compromise your form. And of course, if you're in those classes and you're using your weights and it feels a bit dodgy, or you don't feel like you're quite there, and then all of the exercises you can still do without your weight, just as like a heads up for the week that is coming. Let's see how we're feeling. Thanks. Great class. Thank you, John. I am so glad to hear that it is a great class. It's really cool to also see that everyone has these symbols. Lucy has a little crown with the number 1. John is number 2. This is so amazing. That was good swimming. teach can challenge. Yes. So with the swimming kicks, that can sometimes affect the lower back. So what I would encourage is just making it a little bit smaller. So not kicking as big, maybe kicking a little bit smaller. Pressing into your arms to really support the upper back, and then engaging the core to support the lower back. If that still makes it a little bit pinchy, rolled up towel underneath those hips works like a charm every time. But the swimming kicks can sometimes affect the lower back. So if it does affect your lower back, core or a rolled up towel in the crease of your hips. Give that a try and then let me know if that helps you. Thank you for letting me know. So that's a perfect example. If anything does bother or bug you, you can just ask it here in the chat and I can give you some tips and feedback on how you can make your Pilates more comfortable. Oh, it's so lovely to have you all here. Awesome. Give that a try. Would love to hear your feedback on that. Before I hop off, so I'll just stay here for a few more minutes so that if you have any questions, you can ask away. In the meantime, I will share. I've also shared a post to get a better idea of, for the weekly uploads, if you'd prefer Wednesday and Friday or Wednesday and Saturday. I've been uploading Wednesday classes regularly, but that second session of the week, I just want to kind of get a gauge on like what feels better for everybody, and then also the upload time, what you prefer. So if you want to go and pop into the post section, you can let me know so that I can make sure that I'm meeting you guys, because I have community in the UK and then in USA and all different time zones. So I want to kind of find a time that works for everybody. I used a cushion for the roll-ups. Awesome. Love that. That makes me so happy. Yes. Oh, okay. So roll-ups, roll down, cushion in the back. Fantastic. It's especially for those who can't find a deep lumbar flexion, or if your torso is longer than your legs, so then your legs can't balance you out because you don't have as long legs. People with longer legs, roll-ups are super easy. So if your legs are shorter, then putting a cushion in that lower back works like a charm every time. So I'm so glad that you did that it helped. Well done. All right. I'm going to upload this now. For everyone who wants to watch the replay, I will have it up on YouTube. And if you want to watch it without any ads at the moment, then I also have it on the on-demand membership, so you can check that out as well. And once the whole page is monetized, then we will try and get those ads all sorted for you so that there aren't any ads during the classes. But for everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, your super thanks, and everything. I will see you next week. Bye.